Hello everybody, it's Daddy V, and today I'm here for a new video, and I would love to talk about like the adaptation when you just arrive in a new country, because like it was like maybe 1 month ago, like I was in school and we talked about this subject, like the adaptation, and we saw that we have like different steps when we join a country, when we just go in a country. And it was like a little bit theoretical, like, and for some part I was like, oh yeah, that was the case for me, and for other parts it was not really the case for me. So yeah, I would love to talk about this with you today, to just share my experience, and maybe you will also be able to talk about your experience if you have experience abroad or whatever, as a student or maybe also as a worker, I don't know. But like for me, when I just go away from France, I was really a little bit anxious at the beginning, like really a lot, maybe a lot, because it was like totally difficult to, for example, just to leave the family. Like for me, it was the first time that I left my family. That I left my family. It was really the first time for me. I mean, I was also living alone when I was in France, but it was different because I was in France. It was my country, and now it's not my country here in Finland. So yeah, I think it was like a lot of anxiety because of this new experience. Yeah, and in class we talk about like the first phase, like when you arrive in the foreign country. It's called the honeymoon, and for me it wasn't really a honeymoon because I was focused on my goals, and my main goals at the beginning was to just arrive at home, take my keys and just go in my room and just try to be ready for the year, because it was a little bit complicated, because when you want to fly to Kuopio, it's really difficult because you don't have a lot of flights, and then you don't have bus to go to your apartment, and you cannot also have the keys directly if you arrive the night, because for my apartment I had to take the keys at an office. So it was really difficult, like a real challenge at the beginning, just to get the keys and to be at home. But when I was at home, it wasn't really a honeymoon for me, because I didn't have nothing, like not even a plate. So the first day I was really anxious, I was really stressful about the situation, and I had to think about everything almost every time. So it wasn't really the honeymoon for me. But then after this, when I started to go out with my friend, it was the honeymoon. Like it was every time party. Like I remember we also like to go to the club, and the name was like the Adaption, and it was like almost like this every day. And like I also met a lot of people like during the first days, and it was really crazy. Like it was so easy to talk with people and everything like this. But then it was just like for a few days, just like for the first week, because like I was like, okay, I go everyday party, and it was fun, yeah, but in the same time it was kind of redundant, like it was every time the same thing. And after this, I think I switched the period, and I started to realize that this is not a pink world, that everything is not perfect here. And it was like the phase 2. And yeah, during this phase I was kind of depressed. Like I was like, okay, I want to go back home, but in the same time I was thinking, yeah, I don't want to go back home because I'm here to study, and this is a chance to be here. Like a lot of people, they would love to be here. So yeah, I wanted to go home, but in the same time I was like, okay, stay strong and then it will be okay. And during this phase, like as we learn at school, a lot of people, they are depressed. They don't, for example, they don't eat, or they all eat but like only unhealthy food. And for me it wasn't really the case. Like for me it was most like, okay, sometimes I was sad, that's true, but for the most part I was like, okay, so what can I do? And for me, like my way to fight against this was to do sports. Like it was like I subscribed to a gym, and then every day I was at the gym, and it's still the case. Like every day, I mean almost every day I go to the gym to do some sports, and then I'm fine. Like I can handle the pressure, the anxiety and everything like this. But I know that for some other people it was also like alcohol, and I saw a lot of them alcohol. Most of them it was alcohol, and they were like, every time they were drunk, and they were not able to stay at home and just to relax, just to do something constructive. It was only like party and only about drinking alcohol, and it wasn't the case for me. Like for me, during this phase I wasn't able to drink, like because for me I was like, okay, I'm in a foreign country, I do sports, so I only have to do this and not drinking and do some stupid stuff, because for me it was like, I'm not in my country, so I have to stay calm, I have to respect everything. And then I started to change a little bit. Like I was more open for the party, for example, and I started to drink a little bit to be like in the mood with everyone, to socialize also. And it was kind of normal, but in the same time you need to be careful with this, because if you start to do this like every time, every day, you'll spend a lot of money, and if you drink too much you'll also be depressed. I mean, it wasn't the case for me, and it's not the case for me still. I'm not depressed. I think right now I'm used to the country, more or less. I mean, I have my friends from exchange students, and also some Finnish people that I talk with sometimes. But and so I will say that right now I'm adapted to this new way of life. And I mean, for me now it's normal life. Sometimes I miss my family, I miss my friends in France, but it's not really a big deal. Like I'm getting used to it, so I think it will be okay. And I think it's the same for everyone. Then after this phase, we learn at school that we will have to come back home, and I'm not in this phase. Like right now I'm in the process, so I'm not really in this phase. And we learned that when we'll go back at home, it will be like the opposite. Like we will miss, for example, I will miss Finland. I don't know if it's true or not, because I'm not in France for the moment, and I'll be in France I'll be in France in months, so not right now. So I don't really know for this phase, but they told us that we need to be prepared, to be ready for this phase, because it will also be difficult, because like I'm in Finland, so it's a new life, and then I'll be back to my normal life, so I'll need to adaptate myself again for the French life, and it will be different, but I think I'll be ready for this. And also I wanted to say that I mean, I said some stuff in this video, but it's not the case for everyone. Maybe for you, if you go abroad, you won't be like me. Maybe you'll take more time to get used to the new way of life, or maybe not. I mean, it really depends on every people. But if you feel weak, if you feel like, okay, I can do this, you just have to stay positive, and then maybe things will be better. And then if you cannot handle this, it means that it wasn't for you. But I think that everyone can handle this. Like, it's normal life, and it's normal. Like, you just need to be adapted to this to this new life, and then it will be fine. Like, you will meet friends, you'll do everything, and then it will be just like your country. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all what I wanted to say. So thank you guys for listening to me, and see you in the next video. Bye.